Hey everybody, check it out. I am back in the Yoshino. We are in Sleeping Giant, and as in my Sea Trials video, I'm going to start the match out by releasing all 16 torpedoes into the open water and give them 20 kilometers to do their thing. You do want to get most of your damage into Yoshino with torpedoes, especially if you don't have Atago, and we'll talk about Atago in a second. That's the Azure Lane Commander Atago. So here I'm checking out the teams. There's 3 destroyers per side. Yagumo, 2 of them on the other team, and a Shimikaze. There is a Minotaur, and other than that, there are all battleships on both teams. So each team has 5 battleships, a cruiser, and 3 destroyers. So there we are releasing all 16 of the torpedoes. I'm using the open gaps there, and hopefully we'll get some lucky hits. But yeah, the setup of the ship is the same. The commander is Yamamoto with Ivan B. Lightful and Lemonnier, and that is to reduce the time you're visible after firing the main guns. And here, if you pay attention, the spotted icon will go away a few seconds before I am reloaded. There you go, 4 seconds after I've fired those shots, the ship goes dark. So you're only visible for like 14 seconds or so with the setup. And when you stay at long range, I think that really does make a difference. If you get in close quarters to other ships, they will just tear you apart, as we will see later on in this video. But unfortunately, the best strategy that I have for the ship for myself is to use the torpedoes to their full advantage, and that is to fire them at distance like this and make use of their 20-kilometer range. And there it looks like we are going to get a hit on that Grosser Kurfurst, which is awesome to start the match with a torpedo hit like that. And one thing I've noticed is every time you get a torpedo hit, you pretty much do get a flooding. So looks like, yeah, it looked like he damage conned right away. And now I am taking some HE shell salvos at the Grosser Kurfurst. We do get a couple hits, so the guns are pretty accurate. And that was without Norman Scott, which I normally use on a lot of my cruiser commanders to help out the accuracy. Don't really need that with the Yoshino, it seems. And if you do have Azure Lane Atago, you will start fires a lot more effectively than with Yamamoto. Yamamoto has a 30% chance of starting fires. Atago would have a 35% chance, and that is primarily because of the arsonist skill in slot number 2, which gives a 10% increase in the HE shell damage and the chance of starting fires. And the base trait for Atago is death from below, so that reduces the detectability of the torpedoes, which is very important because the detectability of the torpedoes, it's 2.5 kilometers, so any reduction there will help. So Atago overall really does make a huge difference. And there the Jean Bart does take a shot at me. Luckily, it didn't cause much damage, and we are up to 32,000 damage already. 10 main gun hits and 1 torpedo hit. We do get 3 more hits. No fires yet, so that is very disappointing. There is a Musashi that I'm targeting. He doesn't see me because I've gone dark, and he still doesn't see me because I am behind the island. So there, the torpedoes are going down that lane over there into C. As far as I'm concerned, that is where all the action is at. On Sleeping Giant is all the way over there in C. A lot of times you have a D base over there as well, but yeah, over by C is where all the action is, and that's where I'm going to saturate that area with these long-range torpedoes, and we will get a great many hits by the time we are done here in this match. And yeah, so one thing I did notice is the torpedoes do seem to be going pretty fast. There's another hit and a flood. And yeah, the torpedoes were launched so long ago, I'm not really sure which ship got hit. It's one of those two ships, I am sure. And that flood is going, so there you go. This is going to rack up some damage here if we get all these torpedo hits and each one of them cause floods. So yeah, you want to keep that in mind. And so yeah, we are turning around, and if I fire my main guns, they will see me and basically have a field day with me. So I'm just looking to stay dark and fire these torpedoes is my main strategy. And it looks like this Marlborough is going to get absolutely obliterated here with all of these torpedoes. This is awesome. 5 torpedo hits, devastating strike. And that guy is gone. There's a Musashi that is going, and he is gone so quickly that we do get a double strike and a liquidator medal. So that guy flooded out. So we've got 3 medals going: devastating strike, double strike, and a liquidator. So we are ahead in the match as far as ships go, but we are down because they've captured more bases, and this is going to be bad news for us toward the end of the match, because we are going to be so far behind. It's going to be very tough to win this match, even though we are ahead ship-wise at this point. I'm actually kind of positive about it at this point, and then as soon as I'm positive, I lose a battleship right there. So this is definitely bad news, and I am right within a kilometer, less than a kilometer away from visibility on the Jean Bart, and that guy would absolutely wreck the Yoshino if he got a broadside going at me. Now I'm being spotted, and this is getting kind of dicey right here. 30 seconds left on that torpedo reload. So this is bad news, but I am behind the island, and I'm going to take some shots at the Jean Bart, and we do get a high caliber medal on that main gun hit. We get 5 hits, 2 of them were shatters, but we do get a high caliber medal now. So 4 medals, 149,000 damage on 8 torpedo hits. There were only 3 floodings in many matches. Every single torpedo hit was a flood. So here, not so much, but we are really racking up the damage on these floods. And it actually looks like the Jean Bart might be in a little bit of trouble here. He could be going too. That would be a 3rd destroyed ship. That would be awesome. And yeah, I'm trying to stay angled properly in there. He took like 5,000 off of me on 3 hits. We're up to 165, and it is racking up really quick. This does look like a 3rd destroyed ship here. And he gets taken out by my teammate. So that was a good team kill right there. Those torpedoes looks like would have gotten them. So now again, we are ahead on ships again. So this again, I'm looking to win the match actually. We've got 6 minutes left. There's plenty of time. 166,000 damage, and at this point, I do really think that this is my big time replay video here. Hopefully we can destroy the rest of the ships on the red team and basically be done with it. That would be awesome. So I feel I have no choice but to try to capture some of these bases and deal with the 2 destroyers and the cruiser. I have no idea where they are.
Our team depends upon you.
All right, so that looks like a lot of guns from a ship that looks like more guns than would be on a destroyer. So I'm going to guess that that is the cruiser, which I believe is a Minotaur. All right, so that was a guess on those torpedoes, but there's the Minotaur. He's broadside, and there I switch to armor piercing. If I can get a good hit, I will take this guy out basically in one salvo. But now I've got 2 ships concentrating on me, and yeah, even though I've got 38,000 hit points left, that Minotaur is just firing too many shells too quickly, and I'm just being withered away by both of these ships here. The Minotaur now has a Confederate medal on me. Here comes the torpedoes from the Shimakaze, and this is definitely bad news. I'm trying to do some damage to the Shimakaze. I don't expect to really take him out, but we do get 4 hits on 170,000 damage. And yeah, they are definitely whittling us down. They've started to fire, and we are not going to be around very much longer here. And there you go. So even though we do have a better performance, it is basically the same result. If you get in the open water with the Yoshino, especially at short distance like that, you will get taken out. And all right, so here we are, 303,000 credits, 170,000 battle performance, total damage on 24 main gun hits, 8 torpedo hits, so at 20,000 per torpedo. That is where a great part of that damage came from. 2 destroyed ships, a couple fires, 3 floodings. A lot of that damage did come from those floodings. Liquidator medal, a DoubleStrike medal, high caliber medal, a devastating strike medal. Let's see how we did on the team result. All right, well, here you go. First place on my team, but on the other team, those guys had a spectacular match. That Minotaur player we were going up against toward the end, that guy was having a great match with over 3,000 XP. So good game for those guys. And even a Shimakaze player had 2,900 XP. So holy cow, great match. So let's see how we did on the economy tab. Right, we only made 62,000 credits by the time it was all said and done. That's it for the latest match in the Yoshino. At this point, I think the ship has definitely been battle tested. And for me, I think playing at a long distance and using the long range torpedoes and their high power output to maximum effect is the way to go, as well as the commander inspirations to have the ship go dark after 14 seconds or so with Lemonier and Lightful as inspirations. So let me know what you think down below. If you have a better way of playing a ship, go ahead and let me know about that. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.